Hello, my name is Nell and I have things to say. It's hard to believe it now, but back in my youth, back in my heyday, back before the wheelchair, I used to dance. And I was good at it. I think dancing was my very first love story. It was a childhood crush at first. I loved watching people dance. I loved river dance. I would dress up in this little green outfit and just try to keep up. Never could, but I tried. I wanted to have dance lessons, but we couldn't afford it and there was nothing nearby. No opportunity. In high school, when I was about 13 or 14, our PE class learned the cha-cha. And I was good at it. I'd never been good at physical activity before. But this came naturally. We had to do a little presentation dance and I went out and bought a black skirt that spun around when I twirled. I kept that skirt, I kept wearing it till I was like 21. Because I didn't change size much in those days. And the PE teacher said that I would be an idiot if I didn't pursue this in the future because I was a natural. I'd never been a natural at anything physical before. This lit up something in me and made me feel so confident and so hungry to... I would hear the music and couldn't help myself but dance. When I moved to this small country town where I live, it had a very, very active dancing community. So I joined lessons. I took lessons in jazz ballet. Starting jazz ballet when you're 16 and have undiagnosed fibromyalgia is not the most successful choice to make. I wasn't very good at it, but I loved it. I loved it. My muscles couldn't do what they were asking me to do, but I tried. I moved to Newcastle for university and my housemate at the time said that there was a salsa party at the university bar. She didn't want to go by herself, but she wanted to go. Would I go with her? I thought, heck yes. Salsa parties, they do that. We walked into the uni bar and it was packed. And I heard that rhythm of Latin music from a live band. And my hips started moving immediately. I watched the dancers who were on the dance floor. I counted their steps. I copied their steps. I learned the salsa basic steps. And then somebody asked me to dance. And I went out on the dance floor and I danced and I danced and I danced and I danced. I danced for hours. I took breaks because it's exhausting, but I danced until my feet were so sore. I hobbled home. We found out that there was a weekly salsa party at a local pub. So we started going to that. There was a beginner's class at the beginning and we would learn from that and then just free dancing the rest of the night. Everyone I saw as a teacher, whether they were teaching me what to do or what not to do. I made some really good friends there. We're all connected by a love of dance. We would go out to regular bars and clubs and if we heard a song that matched a particular salsa beat, which is you know what, let's salsa to this, let's bachata to this, let's merengue to this. Forget the club grinding, let's do some Latin stylish stuff. I loved it. And I kept getting better at it. At the beginner's lesson, the teacher decided that I would be a good kind of showgirl kind of thing. So he would use me to show the steps that he was trying to teach. And then if somebody was struggling, he would send me over and I could help them work through it. And I loved seeing that glow of confidence when someone realized that they were stepping in time with the music. When they started really feeling the music in their feet and in their hips. And they realized that's what it's all about. You could see them just fall in love. Just a little bit more. I wasn't classically trained, I couldn't afford lessons, so I danced with the people who could afford lessons and learned from them. Learned the cool moves that they learned in their lessons. I felt a bit inadequate comparing myself to the people who were ballroom trained. But then I realized that I saw the people who were just, even some of the people who were from Latin America and had Latin American roots, and they just danced, they just felt it through their soul, and that's how I danced. I don't need to be classically trained, I just need to feel it. At these parties, I would dance for 4 hours. maybe take a 5-minute break every 45 minutes, but I would keep dancing until I couldn't. Then I got sick. I had to move back home for about 7 or 8 months. When I got back, I knew that I had to slow down. I'd been diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, and I knew that I couldn't be as active as I used to be. So when I went back to dancing, I would dance 4 dances in the space of 4 hours. Then a fortnight later, it would be 3 dances. Later 2, later 1, later none. I would just watch. And then it became too heartbreaking to just watch. So I didn't go. I couldn't listen to the music anymore, because I would feel that beat in my chest, and then I would feel it in my hips, and I would try to do the steps, and I would just get so tired. It was easier to just not listen to it. I couldn't watch videos of my friends dancing. I couldn't watch videos of anybody dancing. I couldn't handle getting the invitations to dance parties because I knew that I couldn't go. So when I had to move back home for good, I unfriended a lot of people that I connected with through dancing, because their lives were still consumed with dancing and mine couldn't be. And it hurt. It hurt too much. I loved those people dearly, but they had something that I couldn't have, and being so obviously on the outside, I just couldn't handle it. Particularly because the first time that I'd gotten sick and went home, I did come back. I did come back and I was able to dance a little bit. So when I went home the next time, people were saying, well, you'll be back. I wasn't going to. I knew I wasn't coming back. But they kept sending me those invitations and telling me how much they missed dancing with me, and I couldn't handle it. I still can't handle it. I still can't watch people dance. I watched the movie In the Heights, and I bawled at the end. An uplifting movie. I bawled because they were dancing and I couldn't. Last night I was an idiot and I listened to a salsa song that I used to love dancing to. And I started to move in my chair. My hips started moving. My heart started tapping away. And then it couldn't go any further. And I ended up with my head in my hands. Life with disability is tough. Life is worth living, but it's tough. But sometimes I look at my life and I think, if I can't dance again, I'd rather not be here. I'd rather not live a life than live a life without dancing. I know that might seem a little dramatic, but think about that thing that you know you were made to do. That thing just clicks so easily. Singing, writing, dancing, art, building homes, surfing, working with people. Imagine if you just couldn't do that anymore. If you lost that skill and it was never going to come back. I was banking on dancing for the rest of my life. I thought I'd be an 80-year-old salsa dancer. Still wearing my red lipstick and my red ribbons and my black dresses the same way as I always had been. But I won't be, and I can't be. It's just heartbreaking. That big love story just ended up with a broken heart. And I know that some people say that they're not very good at dancing, so they don't want to try. Please, just go. Just dance. Just dance in your room. If you can dance and if you want to dance, don't let anyone tell you that you're not good at it. If you want to dance, then you're good enough to dance. Just dance as much as you can. As much as you can. Take videos. I don't have any videos of me dancing, so I don't even remember what I looked like. I can't show anybody what I used to be able to do. Take videos. Make memories. Just dance. That's all for this one. Thank goodness for waterproof mascara. Bless.